What's up, world? Welcome to another video in the beginning gardening series. Today we're talking about the importance of thinning our crops, thinning our seedlings, thinning whatever it is you have planted. All right, so we're going to talk about why it is important to thin your plants, thin your crops. Well, if you saw the other video where we talked about spacing, all of the things about spacing apply to thinning. Okay, and by that I mean thinning our crops helps, one, reduce disease and pest occurrence. Two, helps increase the airflow that we have going on with our seedlings. Three, it helps our seedlings, or it helps our plants actually develop into full-size mature plants. Okay. Four, it also increases our yields because it helps the plants develop into fully mature sized plants. So, all right, what exactly is thinning? Well, thinning is what you do after you directly seed your bed. What is direct seeding? Direct seeding is when you plant a seed, whatever it is. Hold on. Like this, beans, okay? Thinning is like when you plant beans, and beans are supposed to be spaced 6 inches apart. Well, I don't recommend you go and plant one bean seed, then go 6 inches, plant another bean seed. No, I don't recommend that, because if some of those seeds don't germinate, now I'm left with gaps where I could have had plants. So what I recommend somebody do is, if I'm direct seeding, let's say I'm planting something like beans, and I know that I want 6-inch spacing when these beans are fully mature sized plants, well, I'm gonna plant my seeds, I'm gonna seed probably every 2 to 3 inches. And in the event some of these plants don't pop up, that's okay. All of the plants that do pop up, I'm gonna start with one on the edge, and then I'm going to remove plants in between until I have 6-inch spacing between plant A and plant B. So I want plant A, empty soil for 6 inches, and then plant B. All right. Now, why is that important? Let's say with something like carrots, all root crops. This doesn't just apply to carrots, this applies to all root crops. When you plant something like beets, man, you can just take a handful of seeds, make a little line in the soil, and just scatter some beet seeds all the way across. If I don't thin those beets, what ends up happening is I get itty bitty super tiny beets that nobody's really impressed with, okay? But with proper thinning, I can help the beets develop into nice size bulbs, okay? Not bulbs as in the sense that they are bulbs, I just mean shape of a bulb, okay? The same goes for carrots. If you've ever tried to plant carrots in your garden and you've thrown a bunch of carrot seeds down, and then you see all the tops coming up and you're like, yeah, man, I'm crushing it. I'm gonna have so many carrots. Well, what ends up happening is, if you don't thin your carrots, you end up getting these carrots that are like this long, okay? Or yeah, like this long, like 2 inches long and a 1/4 inch thick. So I mean, it's almost a waste. No one wants to cook that. Well, I mean, I'd cook it, but nobody wants to cook that. When you plant carrots, you're looking for the long, fat, round carrots, or long carrots, right? And the only way to achieve that is through proper thinning. All right, so thinning is especially important whenever we're planting root crops like carrots, beets, radishes, parsnips, anything like that. All right, so let's take a look at how to properly thin something like carrots. All right, so here we have carrots, right? I was just talking about how important spacing is in root crops. So check this out. I've already thinned these out a couple of times. Now they're ready for the final thin. If you see here, the carrots are entirely too close to each other. You see all these green tops? This is just for one. This is for another carrot. Now, if I were to leave these two carrots here this close, what would end up happening is they're competing with each other, they'll run into each other, they'll stunt the growth of each other, okay? So, when I say thin, all I'm talking about is removing the excess plant. To do that, you can come in with scissors. If you wanted to, you could cut this top. If it was younger, you could cut the top. But since it's already this size, and I need to get this, and I need to thin this, what I do, grab it right down here by where the carrot is, and I pull it out. Now, this is a carrot. You can take it in the kitchen, cook it. The tops, you can cook them or feed them to your chickens or toss them in your compost bin. So I'm just gonna go through here and actually thin this area of carrot so that you can see what it looks like properly thinned at the end. So this one, too small, too close. This one, I'll pull out also. This is a carrot, and I'll keep this one. I'll keep this one. I have two right here on top of each other, or really three in the same area right here, okay? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to remove this one right here. And I'm going to remove these two right here. This one at the top comes out. This little one at the top. This one, even though it's a nice one, it comes out to make proper spacing between these carrots. This one, too close, comes out. So now, thin the carrots to where it's about 4 inches in between them, not between these two, but here to here to here. Basically the same spacing. Now, these, take them into the kitchen, cut them and cook them if you'd like, throw them in the compost bin, give them to your chickens, feed them to your earthworms. If you have a bokashi bucket, throw it in. Just don't throw it in the trash. Don't waste it. Compost it, do something positive with it. And that's it. That's how simple it is to thin something like root crops. If you want to learn more about spacing, check out the link below the video. It'll take you to a blog article that I have where I talk about spacing and where I talk about how close you can actually plant things like carrots and beans and peppers to each other. Hopefully this was informative. No, I know this was informative. If you enjoyed this or this motivated you to want to garden, become a better gardener, or just kind of got you interested in gardening, go ahead, give me a like, subscribe, tell a friend, whatever it is you want to do. I appreciate you taking the time to be here on this channel. I'm gonna go cook these carrots, man.